We met in Cape Town, South Africa in December of 2024. And
it really felt like we've known each other our whole lives. So it was actually just a professional creative shoot we planned. We didn't have any other intention at that point.
we felt the connection, but we didn't want to pursue anything. And then about 4,000 kilometers, 14,000?
40,000.
Sometimes there's a screenshot, you see a phone call of 16 hours on the phone.
Spoiler, it wasn't a huge celebration. It was a very intimate, small civil wedding.
In Germany, everything is organized. And Naija is Naija. Yeah. Nothing works, but it works.
You must learn German, and not just like a basic Duolingo German. Only distance is our problem, and distance won't be forever.
What happens when two cultures, two continents, and two families fall in love? You get drama, you get joy, you get challenges, you get wahala. And sometimes that wahala is incredibly sweet. Welcome to our Sweet Wahala. My name is Natalia Mufutau, and each week I sit down with Nigerians and their partners from across the globe to talk about everything, from in-law drama to the powerful love that holds it all together. Let's dive into today's story. My name is Natalia Mufutau, aka Naija Wifey, and today I have special guests. Lisa from Germany, from Berlin, it's the heart of Germany, and Sima Pe from North Edo State, from Nigeria. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Yeah.
So today we're going to have an amazing story, guys, because they both met in South Africa. Then they've known each other for 1 year. And the next year, Sim is moving to Germany to join Lisa. I can't wait to get to know your story, guys. So the first question is like the traditional questions. How have you met?
Okay, so we met in Cape Town, South Africa in December of 2024. And she was in Cape Town for volunteer work. And then after that, she wanted to, because she's also a model outside her main job. Yeah. So she wanted to do a photo shoot. And then she had someone help her reach out to a photographer that happened to be me. Yeah, and then on that day we met. We came for the shoot, and then.
Lisa, tell me how long you've been in South Africa before you met Sim.
I've been there for 1.5 weeks before we met.
Only?
I've only been there for 3 weeks in total, actually. It was just a vacation. So after 1.5 weeks, yeah, we met for the shoot.
Okay. And what made you actually, how did you get interested in Sim? What was this first thing that,
So it was actually just a professional creative shoot we planned. Like, we didn't have any other intention at that point. But yeah, then the next day after the shooting, he invited me for First Thursdays. That's a thing in Cape Town. You go out with friends on First Thursdays. And because he knew I was in Cape Town alone and I wanted to connect with people, he said, do you want to come out with me and my friends tomorrow? And then, yeah, we somehow felt the vibe between us.
Okay. So Sim, what do you want to say? Because like what Lisa said is very important, that it's like a professional relationship, model and the photographer. So what did happen?
At that time, like she said, we just got along really well during the shoot. It was so natural. And then I just wanted her to at least get a taste of the town before she leaves, because we had really good conversations during the shoot. And then from there, I just felt, okay, she has a good vibe, and it would be nice for us to hang out again, because she had a short time to stay. As at that time we met, she was going to leave really soon. So I had to invite her to go out. And I think everything developed during the first Thursdays because we hung out with friends, we went wine tasting, and then we got to have deeper conversations. I got to really understand the kind of person that she was, and then the vibe just sparked from there, and that was the beginning of something. Yeah, from for us.
I guess the wine helped.
It was just little. We just tasted. It wasn't enough for us to get to get drunk. But
Okay.
we were in a more relaxed space at that time.
Mm,
It was not a professional space, so we could at least talk more. Yeah.
definitely. But you met actually after 1.5 week of Lisa staying in South Africa. So she had only 1.5 week left. So how did you guys manage?
After after the wine tasting, we met again another time before she left because it was just a hangout. We just went to have drinks somewhere with another friend. So that was the next time we hung out before she left. So I think we went out twice after the shoot, twice again before she went. Yeah,
I just spent the rest of my time alone, like
yeah.
discovering Cape Town.
Mhm.
Yeah, just by myself.
So Lisa, did you think about seem thinking about anything like relationship wise or when you were leaving South Africa or not?
Not really, but I also think we pushed that thought away because I live on a different continent. So you would not think, I mean, of course, we felt that there was a vibe between us, but I think we both tried not to think about it too much. And yeah, I just went back to Germany and we moved on with our lives.
Yeah. To add to that, we felt the connection, but we didn't want to pursue anything because at first we had other stuff going on in our lives personally, and then about 4,000 kilometers, what
Mm,
14,000 kilometers away.
40,000.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was crazy to think about a relationship at that time, regardless of the connection that we felt. We just
Mm.
didn't pursue anything, and I just let her go. Yeah.
But Sim, you spent like 3.5 years in South Africa already, so you have met many women, and even as a photographer. So what made you actually get interested in Lisa?
Yeah, for Lisa, it was something way deeper for me because personally, I'm very particular with someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with. So I met Lisa, and what I felt, I'd never felt it before. I just felt a connection, a deeper connection that nobody has ever made me feel this way, and it was
Wow.
it was what made me realize that sometimes life doesn't just happen the way you want it to be. Sometimes you make plans and life happens. So for me, Lisa was life happening to me because I never felt that I would meet someone that would make me feel the way I felt, let alone someone who was like miles away from me. I mean, it felt different in every aspect. I felt like this person, I could live with this person. And that's one thing I'm particular about because I'm particular about someone that I can share my space with. And everything that I learned about her during that time kept giving me reasons to be like, okay, maybe this is the person. Maybe all this time I've been searching for nothing. And yeah, this is it. Yeah.
How was it for you, Lisa? Because Berlin it's everything is happening in Berlin. There are so many people from different nationalities. So what made you actually get interested in Sim?
Yeah, he's just different than any other average guy. And as you said, yeah, in Berlin, you can meet many people from all over the world, but those people are also all over the place. And no one really wants to settle, and no one is serious about anything anymore. And So I never felt like Berlin or even Germany was the place for me to date, actually. But I didn't go to South Africa to date, but I'm just saying that, yeah, people on in this generation, people are just not willing to settle down, or they're not serious and they always want to look for something better and someone better. And yeah, Sim just gave me a completely different feeling. And also because we had this deeper connection with each other. It it really felt like we've known each other our whole lives. And yeah, when you meet your soulmate, you met your soulmate and you never met your soulmate before. It's hard to explain, but that's how we felt with each
So I
other.
think Sim, he had the same feeling. So are you like, do you remember, are you able to say exactly when did you feel this feeling that, okay, this is my soulmate? At what point?
Yeah, I can remember. And it's funny how we even have videos of that moment. Because it's interesting that during the first Thursday, when we were there, my friends were making a video of everything. So the camera was just
For
set
social
somewhere
media, yeah.
to record the, the gathering and everything. So we were just on our own. We're not even interacting with the rest people on the table. We're just focused on each other, just talking. Because later we watched the video, like, what the hell was going on here? Because we just kept going on and on. And to me, that was the moment. And watching the video again made me realize that was exactly the moment that I started to fall for Lisa. Because
Yeah, oh, I agree. But as I said before, I think we tried to push it away at that time, because it was also overwhelming, because we didn't meet, we didn't go on a date together. You were not expecting that with someone you just meet for professional project. So, yeah.
But is it so that, for example, for a woman like you that comes from Germany, is it like sometimes too risky to fall to let your feelings go for a man that you don't know, because you know that there can be a lot of trouble coming from it? Or is it not the way you were thinking that? What were you thinking that time? Because we are women, we're all over emotions, doesn't matter where we come from.
Yeah, that's true. I would say because we're already over 30. Yeah, we're in our early 30s. We experienced a lot, and you never know. Like, even with people I've been before and I've known them for longer, they gave me a different feeling, and not a safe, emotionally safe feeling after months. So I think I just trusted my gut feeling with everything, and it just felt right. And I just felt safe with him. Even on the first day we met, yeah, at the shoot, when he invited me then for the next day, I didn't really know him. And I was in South Africa, and he invited me to come out with his friends, and I didn't really know any of them well, but it was just something in me that told me I should go. And I was right, and he made me feel safe from the minute we met. So I wasn't scared of anything.
So who after you left, who DM'd like first, and do you remember the message?
Yeah, it was me. I sent him a photo of Cape Town sunset, because we actually wanted to shoot during sunset, during golden hour, but at that day we had a very shitty sunset. It was all cloudy. So I sent him a photo of a very beautiful Cape Town sunset and said, remember, this is the sunset we wanted for our shoot. And and then somehow it started again from there.
So how did it continue? Because being in a distance relationship, thank God that you are in the same time zone. So I think it helps a lot. But how were you like communicating on a daily basis?
First off, we make sure that we keep ourselves in the loop about our day. From when we
Oh,
started dating, we we go to bed on the phone call. We wake up, yeah, she's there, and I wake up, or vice versa. We've always put in effort in communication because we know that in a long distance relationship, it's one of the most important things because you're
mhm,
not there physically. You have to have that reassurance every time with that person. So, with at every given chance that we have, we reassure each other by letting the person know that I'm thinking about you. Regardless of how my day is going, you're on my mind. And whenever I get a free time, I want to check on you. I want to know what's happening with you. And that's what we imbibed in our relationship to make sure that we always keep each other informed about our day, our activities, and
mhm.
everything. Even plan dates on the phone to do stuff over the phone. It's just a conscious effort that we made, you know, to keep everything burning. Yeah.
But you said that you are planning dates. So it's like you plan dates in the calendar that, okay, we are going to do something together on this time.
Yeah. Certain things we plan, like we can watch a movie on the phone. Yeah, stuff like that. But also we communicate every time. We share almost every
Mhm.
minute. We share everything, and then we also plan for special dates on the phone. So yeah,
Also for a running day, for example,
we have
we
running
went for
dates.
a
We
5K
stretch
run
every
together.
morning on the
Yeah,
phone. We work out on the phone. So there's a lot.
Really, to this
Yes,
extent. Wow, that's
yes.
amazing.
yeah.
But it's actually a quite big commitment. What did your family say? Let me start from Lisa.
it, in general, like about our relationship or
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
distance.
mean that if they see, I don't know if you are living with the parents or we are in a touch with them, but what I mean is that definitely they have noticed that there is a man that you are on the phone with, that you spend so much time with, that who is he?
Yeah, my parents or our parents, they are very supportive. Actually, we told everyone, our friends and family, from early on,
We
and
did.
Hmm.
and they knew, like, even when we just started, I remember I told my mom, remember when I was in Cape Town? And my parents always say, when you're happy, we're happy too. And my mom was just concerned because she knew it was not going to be easy on this
Hmm.
distance. And so she was just a bit concerned about me, in general, not about him or our relationship, but just about the fact that it's not easy with the distance and visa and whatever. So that was her only concern, but she was happy because I was very happy. Yeah.
She could see it in you. But
Yeah.
what about the fact that Sim is a Nigerian? There was no discussion about that it might be a scam, all this.
No, actually, not at all. It's so funny that, oh, actually, it's not funny, but
It's yeah.
yeah,
It's actually surprising, like the way our families just came along with everything. I was There's always this conversation. Like I had it at the back of my mind because it's a thing you have to officially tell your people that, oh, I'm going to get married to someone and she's white and did that. And I
Mm.
was expecting a lot of questions, but I didn't get all that. And my parents were just happy that I'm happy. They're
Mm.
just so supportive. My sisters also, from the beginning, they just wanted to be involved in us, whatever they can do to support us, whether with words of encouragement or whatnot. They've just been
Mhm.
extremely, surprisingly accepting and accommodating of everything so far. There's no one in our circle. actually that raised an eyebrow concerning our relationship. I guess that's a blessing for us.
And I think my family, they just know me, and they know I wouldn't just go like randomly meet a guy in Cape Town, a Nigerian guy in Cape Town, and I want to be with him, like for no like deeper reason. So I think they just know, okay, if she chooses that path, then it's something like deeper for her, and it makes her really happy. And I think because they know that, they're very relaxed. Yeah. So they didn't say, yeah, but he's Nigerian. Aren't you scared that he's a scammer?
That's very refreshing to hear. That's very refreshing, because I guess the Sim had already the answer for all this potential stuff.
So sad, actually. Yeah, but you have to prepare those answers. But yeah.
Yeah, I know, but that I always ask this question because, like, I've been in a relationship 16 years, and my family was concerned about that. I believe many families might be, because just of the lack of knowledge and what they hear in the TV. So this is nothing personal at all. It's what they read and what they see. In Nigeria, this introduction to the families is very important. So how did you manage to do it online?
I remember the first time she spoke to my mom, it was on a video call. Yeah. And I was very excited that day because I didn't know what to expect. And I just was like, okay, she has to meet my parents. She has to meet my family. I was like, okay, let's do it. Whatever happens, it happens, because we know what we want. We know we want to be with each other. So the earlier we tell everybody what we want, the better. I didn't prepare for the meeting. I didn't prepare so much. I was like, okay, let's just, get it going. And that was it. Surprisingly, my mom was the happiest she has been on the phone, because almost everybody, when they see us on the phone, or even from her side or my side, there's always this thing they say about they feel the genuine connection. People tell us that, even my mom said the same thing. Her mom said the same thing, about us, about how we are, that she feels like this is a very huge connection. We didn't think too much. We just wanted them to know, and then, yeah.
Lisa, did you prepare yourself like before meeting Sim's mom?
No, not really. I remember he actually just invited his mom to our call where I was still laying on my sofa. And when I saw it, I jumped up. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, so I knew that we were going to call his mom and stuff, but I didn't know it was that second.
Yeah.
So, but I think it was good because I didn't really prepare. I was just tried to be authentic.
Yeah, you were yourself. Exactly.
Yeah, it was just, I think that's the most important, because that's me, and I am German, I am white, so I don't have to act any different. But it was never a problem. Really relaxed. Yeah.
That's very important that you said that just to be yourself. And yeah, you are right. You are very right about that. But what about getting to know your family? How was the first meeting?
Getting to meet Lisa's family.
Yes.
Yeah. It was also not planned. Nothing. It wasn't something that we had to prepare and plan. I just know that sooner or later they will have to meet me, and I don't have to think about anything, regardless of where I'm from or my race or whatever. Yeah, I just wanted to be myself, because it's me. This is who they are gonna see. A black man from Nigeria who's in love with their daughter. So I was like, okay, Yeah, and it was easy. And the only, okay, let's say the only challenge was the language. That was
Mhm.
all because, yeah, we had to try to speak with basic English for her parents, for her mom and her dad. But
Mhm.
it's interesting the effort they're making to even want to communicate to me with English. And they made it easy for me because speaking with her mom and even her dad, I didn't feel any pressure. I didn't feel the need to check myself or anything like that. It was just natural. It was real. I just wanted them to meet me and to know me for who I am. That was it.
Did they ask you some difficult questions? What are you doing for work and your finances and how are you going to take care of Lisa and so on?
No, not at all.
Because I think they can't even ask that in English.
Ah, okay.
But no, I don't think they would have asked that because my parents are not like that. They knew everything from me. And I think, yeah, they just wanted to see him and on a very relaxed space. So they wouldn't ask those questions that could like put any pressure
Right,
on him.
sure.
So
Mhm. So at what point did you actually introduce the parents to each other?
I think it
in
was sometime
April,
in
I
April.
think.
Yeah, it was because from the beginning, when we decided to okay, yes, we want to do this, we want to spend,
Mm-hmm.
we just wanted to get our families involved
Sharp,
immediately.
We were
sharp.
like, what
Yeah,
do we
sharp,
have
sharp.
to wait for?
Because
I mean,
because
we're
I
sure.
mean, we're sure. There's no need to wait anymore. But yeah,
So when did you have this conversation? So it's you ask her to marry you, or like what happened in April 2025?
there was a conversation that was like, okay, maybe why don't we just get married and move together and just moving together. It started like a harmless conversation. I was like, yeah, I want to do that because there's no point waiting anymore. So we just had that conversation from that day, from when we talked about why don't we just get married and just elope. It was just a harmless conversation, but
I
then
remember when Sim said, I waited my whole life for you. Why do I have to wait any longer now? And
I
I
mean,
think that absolutely made sense. So
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. So from this conversation in April 2005, what did you guys have to do to be together? Like
Uh,
formally.
Formally, of course, I've formally asked her that I wanted her in my life, and I wanted her in my life for as long as I would be able to remember. And from
that was
there,
yeah.
yeah, and from there we started making conscious effort to plan a life together. So
Mm-hmm.
from every conversation we have, we started making plans for our future together. So from that
Mm-hmm.
time in April, we had already started to plan a future together. So yeah.
But Sim, it is. I ask this question because it's very important to many couples that are doing the long distance, like you guys. And I know that Lisa comes from Germany, so I just assume that you plan. I might be mistaken, but I would like to get some kind of like checklist. Maybe not exactly the checklist, but what have you done in order to plan the life together? What have you planned?
I think we're still in the process, but so I think so. The first step was for Sim to move back to Nigeria because we wanted to start the whole visa process and everything in Nigeria. And we also decided that we wanted to get married in Nigeria.
Mm.
So we did that in November, and he moved. When did you move? In October, I think.
October.
Yeah. And for Sim to get a visa to Germany, he must learn German, and not just like a basic Duolingo German. It's
Mm.
actually an exam, A1 exam of, yeah, to prove that he knows basic German he has basic German knowledge. Sometimes I think it's not so basic. It's not just, hello, how are you? Where are you from? It's deeper, but we all know German grammar is not. Yeah, he's doing that. We need a lot of different documents, also original documents. And
so if I understood, if you want to bring your spouse to Germany, so does he needs to have a basic knowledge of German?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I need to write an exam. It's the German A1. Yeah.
It's an exam. It's reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And he must have that to get the Schengen visa. It's not just a German visa, but it's for Schengen area.
Uh-huh. So is it like you have to do it at the embassy? You have to do it online and then submit the certificate. How does it work?
You have to go to
you have to go to like a recognized German institute that's recognized by the German authority to do the exam and get the certificate. So that's what you're going to use to apply for the visa. So without that, nothing. You cannot.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not an easy journey for us to be together. So there's so much that we cannot even speak about here. But what's more important for us is what we want. And we were ready to do whatever it takes to get what we want, and which is to be together. So, yeah.
There's always something new. Like you have that, you see the one paper you need, but yeah, we just try to go like step by step, day by day, because otherwise, yeah, it's too overwhelming.
Okay.
And yeah, because you must understand what you have to do. Like you must understand the German system, what they want and what they need and how they need it, because then you need to translate all the documents because they're not even accepting English documents. Yeah.
So there is a lot of work on your side, Lisa.
On both sides.
Both our sides.
Actually, yeah. It's on both sides because Sim has to do it through the German embassy in Nigeria. So yeah, it's on both sides. Yeah, we just have to work together. Yeah, on this.
Okay. So a part of this visa, of the paperwork, like what else? Like you said, you are planning your life together. So what else did you guys plan between April and now?
Between April and now, it's basically been how we want to be together. So apart from even the visa for me to join her as a spouse, we're also trying for me to get a Schengen visa so I can visit her in the meantime if I want to. So there's just been a lot of planning on how we're going to be together. We also plan for visits. We've planned for her to come visit also in the meantime, before I move. So everything we're planning is how we can break this distance between us, you know, and finally be in the same space. Yeah.
What I'm asking is that from the woman perspective, that you guys don't know each other for a long time. You said that you've known each other for a year. You've been together for over half a year. So I'm just thinking, like, how can you plan your life together? Of course, you are getting to know each other. So how is this planning going? It is an ongoing process, but it's. Did you use ChatGPT to check what do you have to do, like how to plan a life in a long distance relationship? What did you do?
Yeah, we've made we've also done our research. We've made so many research in terms of what we are planning, in terms of what we need to get married, what certificate that we need, what document, whatnot. We've planned. We also talk about our personal lives, what we want for our marriage, how we want our family to be like, what kind of home do we want to build together. We've talked about so many things, and so far it's been good. Planning has been good because regardless of how hectic a lot of things that we have to do is, we still, together as a team, we always find a way to make things work. So far, so good, I would say, with planning.
And in a long distance relationship, you have a lot of time to communicate over the phone because that's all you have, right? So, yeah, we talk a lot about our future together, like when we're actually together, what traditions do we want to adapt, and like what values are important for us. And there's a lot of family and life things we talk about quite often, actually, because it also gives us
Every day,
hope
we
and makes us
must talk about it.
excited to be together, because we always say the life didn't really start yet, like our life together. I mean, it started, but not in the same country, on the same continent, and just in the same place together. So we're always, yeah, very excited to talk about our future, because that's all we have right now to look forward to. Yeah.
I'm very happy that you mentioned values, because I think it's very, very important that I was not aware of my own values 15 years ago when I was dating my husband. So I think this is a very good takeaway from this interview for you guys, because you might not know that maybe on the Nigerian side, how much values that, first of all, you have to set the values. I cut 60 or 40 from the list and so on. And then you combine it and you talk about it. So I think it's amazing, because it tells you a lot about each other, and it also helps you how to plan.
Yeah.
Yes,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It does, because we speak about these values every day, because I know she also, as a person, even with her personality, she's a woman of values. She stands for what she stands for. Together and come to a stand where we can put it together for a family to build on as a foundation. Yeah, it's basically been like that for us, and so far it's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very good foundation. But now I want to ask about this Nigerian wedding, because guys, the Nigerian wedding is always like a huge celebration. How was it in your case?
Spoiler, it wasn't a huge celebration. It was a very intimate, small civil wedding. We didn't, that's also values, or like how you grew up and what you want. And at first I was a bit scared, or because I wasn't sure if Sim wanted a big African celebration, because I knew it's not exactly what I wanted. But in the end, we found our way, or it was clear that we both didn't want
we both didn't want, we wanted the same thing. I don't like those elaborate and massive celebrations, because I come from a house where my mom always wants something big. If anything happens in the house, we want to celebrate, we want to do a party, we want to gather people, we want to make food, yeah. But that's not me. I've always wanted a very simple wedding growing up, and sometimes I'll mention it to my mom. My mom will be like, "Nah, my only son cannot have a small wedding. You know, everybody has to know that my son is getting married." But that wasn't me. And to find someone like, okay, yeah, we share the same values when it comes to that. I want an intimate wedding, because I feel, and that's the way you can really feel the emotion of that day. Those elaborate weddings are always about the people, the guests, and not really about the couple. That's what I think. So when we communicated, and I knew I was very happy to have a very small, intimate wedding, just a few family that we care about. and it was good. It was the best day for us. Yeah.
But how did you convince your mom if you are the only son? You know, a Nigerian woman is very proud if her son is getting married. What did you tell her?
And I just told her that, Mom, if that's how it's going to be now, so it's what makes me
You
happy.
had no
And like, my mom
choice.
is, and my mom is also very understanding. She's always been about what makes me happy. So at the end of the day, she was like, okay, it doesn't matter, but maybe later you guys can do another party, though. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, later we're gonna have a bigger celebration, but for now,
Yeah.
let's do it this way. And then I guess that's how we bribed her. Like we promised her some other celebration sometime. So yeah.
And I think it's also because we always mention, okay, I come there for the wedding, so we have a limited time together already, and my family didn't come, and so I think this is also what helped Sim's side of the family to understand why we wanted just a small, intimate wedding. We would have done that it only the two of us, but that's not possible in Nigeria.
I don't know. No, there's no way.
So we had some like very few friends and family members around.
They were more than we expected, though, because that's always,
yeah, of course.
At the end of the day, this small wedding, we still had many people that we didn't plan to show, and that's just how it is. Yeah.
So Lisa, how was it the first time, your first time in Nigeria? How was your experience?
Well,
Because that's, I mean, was it different from South Africa? I don't want to assume.
so I always say that South Africa is something in between Nigeria and Germany, because South Africa is more lots of European people or from the Western world. They go to South Africa, and it's
International,
more
tourists.
It becomes more touristy and fancy. But I think South Africa has a whole different dark side, and we all know that. We don't see it on social media. But Nigeria was very different because it's not so fancy and touristy, or not at all. But it was overwhelming, especially the traffic in Lagos and all the noise, everyone.
The hooting.
The hooting, yes. Especially when you come from German culture, because Germans are more like quiet. I always say when you come from Italian or Spanish countries, then it's also different because they're also more loud, outgoing, and the Germans are a bit like quiet and calm. But Nigeria is not quiet and calm, so it was a bit like overwhelming. But it was very nice to meet Sim's family and friends, because everyone is so welcoming, and you just feel like you've been with them for a long time already. And I think that's also very different to German culture in general, because Germans are a bit more, how do you say? Reserved, yeah. But it was a great experience, to be honest. And I'm just excited to be with Sim wherever we are. I don't really care where that is and how the surroundings are. Yeah, but I think overwhelming is a good word.
But what was the most shocking to you coming from Germany? Because in Germany, everything is organized. And Naija is Naija. Yeah. Nothing works, but it works.
I mean, I came. I was so excited to come with my visa and my landing card and my yellow
yellow card.
yellow
Even?
card.
Yellow fever, yeah.
And I had all my documents prepared, and then at the airport they were like, okay, the network is not working, no Wi-Fi, just do you have
Just
it
go,
printed?
go.
Okay, just leave it here and go. And I was like, okay, good. So very different. But I think the most shocking or very huge difference to Germany is also the corrupt system. Yeah, I really had to learn how that works. And yeah, that it was interesting when we first started dating because Sim didn't really understand the German system well, and I didn't really understand the Nigerian system. And then we always said, but it works like this. And then he was like, no, but it works like this here. And so I think it's very, yeah, that's a very, shocking part for me about Nigeria. Yeah.
We will go back about to the cultural differences between two of you, but what about the food, the Nigerian food? How did you like it?
At least you like plantain.
I like plantain.
Oh, that's a good start. Yeah, that's a good start. Yeah.
I love plantain. Yeah, and plantain chips. It's very spicy, and I don't like spicy food. And yeah, that's a bit difficult then. But other than that, what I tried, I liked it. But
you had some
you have
rice.
to make sure it's not so spicy.
Did Simo mom, did she try to teach you how to cook the Nigerian food, or there was no time for it really?
There was no time for that. And that's been planned for another visit because then I had to even have my mom come because she doesn't live in Lagos and then she lives in Benin City. So she had to come, and then there was really no time for them to really have that time for her to teach us certain things. But and I think, like she said, other than the spice, she's surprisingly very open to try Nigerian food, to be honest. And yeah, it's been good.
But were you also open-minded to people? Because sometimes Nigerians, they can be intimidating. It's a part of the culture, but depending where you come from, it can feel a bit overwhelming and intimidating. Like, how was it in your case?
It's always interesting to think about that because sometimes you feel like a VIP because they offer you seats and everywhere, but then you also feel sometimes I felt a bit uncomfortable, not because of the people themselves, but just because they made me look like an important person or just a different person. There was so much attention on me sometimes that it made me feel uncomfortable. But other than that, I felt good. And I felt safer in Nigeria than in South Africa.
Guys, can you hear it? I will put it as a trailer that Elisa felt safer in Nigeria than in South Africa. That's a very important statement. Thank you for that. Because anytime we travel or I travel, it's, oh my goodness, don't post this. Even though I've learned to post some stuff, you cannot disclose the location. You have to post like after you have left and so on. You don't do lives and so on. But I'm very happy that you said it. And how long did you stay in Nigeria after you got married?
I was only there for a total of 11 days, I think. Because it was at the end of the year and I didn't have much vacation days left at work. So I had to go back to work.
So how did you both feel about it? Because how did you feel about it that you are finally married officially, but did you feel married in your heart? What's the feeling like?
Yeah, we've already been married at heart even before we said those words. I've always seen her as my
Mm.
wife already, and it was just only for us to be legally married because I know she's my soulmate, and I know that we want to spend our lives together. And it just the only sad part was the distance because a lot of couple get married and then they have a lot of time to spend with each other, honeymoon, blah 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 blah. But
Mm.
we didn't have that, and that was the sad part of everything. But still, it didn't make any difference because I know that whatever distance we had after was only going to be temporary, and this now is going to be temporary, and we already have our hearts locked in, and that's all that matters. Yeah.
Mm. That's
Yeah,
very.
yeah, it was hard. Or it is hard.
Mm. Guys, I want to remind you that they met last year December, they got engaged April, and then they got married in November, which is like 6 months after they got engaged officially. Yeah, I love hearing what you're saying about the soulmate and so on. So you guys are planning now for Simo to come to Germany next year.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so everything actually happened within a year.
Yes.
That's amazing. We are talking now, about soulmates and so on, but life happens and then fight happens and conflicts happen. So how do you solve that being online?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think I want Lisa to start because from a woman perspective, I think, yeah.
The thing is, we don't really argue, but we always try to be on the phone and solve any disagreement we have. Not WhatsApp, not sometimes after an argument or disagreement, we send a message again, like a written message, to make sure that we explained ourselves right and there's no misunderstandings left, especially because we also have the language. And yeah, it's not our first language. And but yeah, we always try to communicate over the phone and communicate open and yeah, just share our feelings, explain our feelings, explain our perspectives, and yeah, just we're always very respectful with each other. Yeah.
Yes. So then, if I'm gonna add to that, like whenever we have a disagreement, like what we always have at the back of our minds is we're fighting the situation, not ourselves. We always try to make sure that we talk about it on the phone. We talk about what's going on, what the disagreement is, and like she said, we always send a message after, and in that message is something to just it's just a reassurance that yeah, we've this is
What I meant.
we've had the conversation.
Yeah.
Now it's just the message is for us to be like, okay, yeah, this is how it is. I love you. I want us to move past this because at the end of the day, when we have a disagreement, we always think about ourselves because we want to make sure that what we are fighting for is not to find out who's wrong or who's right, but to move past that situation so that we can be back to ourselves again. So we make sure we communicate, and it's very important because I wouldn't say there's no couple that wouldn't have disagreement. There's none. We do have disagreements, but we always make sure that we respect each other with every situation. That respect never leaves the conversation, and that's there. That's what makes us be able to handle any disagreement that comes for us. Yeah.
I love that Lisa mentioned respect, actually, because the respect is so important in the Nigerian culture. I always say it's top three to me. Lisa, how do you understand the Nigerian respect from your perspective?
How do I understand the Nigerian respect?
Yeah, because it's I think it's complex from my over 16 years of experience. Well, see me smiling. It's so complex that from where I come from, the respect sometimes what means respect in a Nigerian culture, it doesn't mean respect in my own culture. If I put myself, so have you noticed it? I know it may be a difficult question since you are mostly communicating online, but have you realized that like the way you understand respect sometimes is different from his? Or
I never
Can I
thought
help her?
about it.
Can,
Yeah. Mm.
can I
Yeah.
help her? The thing is, one thing about me is both of us, we're not typical people from where we're from.
Mm.
This is not the description of an average German. And I'm not the perfect description of an average Nigerian man. Because there's some things I let slide that my friends would not, because they see it a different way. Some things, I know people that are in marriages and relationships that were like, no, this is disrespectful. You know this because you've been married to a Nigerian for a long time. So you understand what I'm trying to say. But to me, I don't see those things the same way like a typical Nigerian. There are certain things that an average Nigerian man would do in a relationship, and then people will be like, "You're doing too much. Or you're doing too much, or you need to be tough. You need to put your foot down. You need to make sure that your woman knows that you're the head of the house.
Mm.
We're both partners. That's how I see it. I see us as partners. There's nobody's superior over anybody. We're just in this together, wanting to make this work together. So I don't expect her to, I don't expect, I don't see a hierarchy in our relationship, in our marriage. As much as, yes, we know the man is the head of the family, he's a provider, this, that, but yes, still, it doesn't make me a tyrant, or it doesn't make me it wouldn't make me be controlling or whatnot.
But I think the respect you show me is not something that I should fear or
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, and I never thought about it like that. Okay, what's different to the Nigerian respect or
Mhm.
respect in Germany? I never thought about it in a cultural way, but I think it's because Sim isn't the typical Nigerian. So he's just treating me with respect, and he's a gentleman as a man should be. So I'm just seeing him for that. And I never felt like, actually, I never felt any difference so far to respect in Germany. But what I learned about Nigerian culture, Nigerian respect, that children, they have to greet you when they see you, or they also, the children and their parents, they have to show, or in general, they have to show respect to older people. And it should be like that in Germany, but it's not.
Yeah. And
Not
also,
forever.
how I can call your mom by her name.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing in Nigeria. And then I was like, I cannot call your mom by her name. And she was like,
You
you
can.
can call her. It doesn't matter. I'm like, no, because if I do, that's the end of me. I cannot call my mom by
Yeah,
her
yeah.
name. It's a big deal. So those are like the difference. And then she also, sometimes she calls my mom. She calls her mom because her name is Charlotte. So she says Mom Charlotte. Because that's how the culture is in
The
Germany.
culture.
You can call your an elder's name, but in Nigeria it's different. And then that's one thing she has also learned so far.
Mhm.
But we always try to compromise because I know where she's from and I don't expect her to do certain things because all her life she has lived her life differently. So I don't expect her
Mm.
to just imbibe my culture and do things my way. And I also tell my family too. I tell them like, you guys know that you don't have a Nigerian daughter-in-law. So don't expect certain things from her. And my family, they
Sorry,
understand.
in what situations did you tell that to them? So there was something like they were expecting, because it's normal that the Nigerian families, they will always want the best for you, which means that, even that's why I ask about cooking, that in a normal setting, the mom wants to make sure that you will cook for Sim. So she will teach you the way, their own way of preparing the food. That's like a, how should I say, Nigerian families, they prepare the wife to serve the husband in a
Correct.
best way. Yeah. So in what,
Yeah.
going back, so in what situation did you have to explain to your family that, remember, Lisa is not Edo?
At some point, I mentioned it to my family, but they never get involved in how we want to run our family. If she'll cook for me, what kind of food I like, because I've lived in I lived in South Africa for a while, and I didn't eat so much Nigerian food because I eat I can eat any kind of dish as long as it's good for me. And then we
Mm.
me and Lisa, we have a way we do our stuff. And sometimes mom will call us, and then we're both in the kitchen together, and then we're speaking to mom on the phone, and she's making food, and I'm cleaning up after her. And that's because that's how it works for us, because it's me spending more time with my wife if I'm with her in the kitchen. So I like to do that because when she's in the kitchen, she's cooking. I'm there with her. We're having a conversation. I'm helping her pass this, pass that, and it's just like that for them. And my people, they know that's how we do our thing. So nobody wants to interfere and say, "Oh, are you sure your wife is treating you well or not?" Now, because they know that I'm happy, and however she makes me happy is none of their business. They're just happy that I'm happy. And yeah.
We basically we always do our thing, our way,
Yep.
and
Our rules.
our people know that, so they're not even
Our
they don't
people.
even ask any questions or say
I like
anything.
the way you said it, our people. Huh?
Yeah.
That's good. But
Yeah.
I realized that you guys said that you are not a typical like German Nigerian, but there is this upbringing. So like German people are very honest and straightforward, and Naija people are well known for this sweet mouth. So how do you solve this?
Yeah. The fact that she's straightforward works for me perfectly. And that's one of the
Mm.
compatibilities that we have that makes me see her like, yeah, she's my person, because that's how I am. I'd rather have you be being blunt to me than
Mm.
sugarcoat stuff. And that honesty with Germans is what I really admire about her, because she tells me how it is. She never sugarcoats anything. When she feels some type of way, she tells me, yeah, baby, this is how this has made me feel. And I love that a lot, because it's better that you just tell me how it is and not care whether it's, you know, how it is, than you sugarcoat it and then I don't understand how you feel, and then I'm going about my day and I don't know that there's something, an underlying problem that we haven't trashed out. So her being straightforward and blunt works for me 100%, and I love that about her, to be honest.
So it has never felt disrespectful to you?
Nah, not once. Not once. Even it,
Mm.
no matter the situation, even if it's something that would make me feel bad, I always appreciate the fact that she tells me. And
Mm.
it works for me 100%. I don't feel disrespected as long, because she never tells me anything with disrespect. I never feel a disrespecting tone whenever she tells me
Mm.
something or tells me how she feels. It's the respect that she has for me that makes me take whatever she tells me. And yeah,
Mhm.
and it's just what it is.
Yeah, I think it's just the way you put things, right? I so I always try to just explain my feelings, of course, my honest feelings, and in a direct way, but I use like more words to explain so he can actually understand how I feel about certain things. And then maybe it doesn't sound so direct, but it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
I like that. Can you give us an example? Because I know that this is a very big problem in many relationships. It was also a problem, a challenge, I would say, in our case, because Polish culture is also straightforward, and we don't sugarcoat. We don't have all this like, "How are you?" We always go straight to the point because it's a waste of time, like to all these sweet talks in the beginning. So if you like, what is your like formula for this, talking about your feelings and not talking directly about Sim, but more about how you feel?
I'm now thinking, if I'm like, as Sim said, I'm not the average German. Of course, yes, sometimes I am, but I think because I also lived in the States before, I have that because they are very like, oh, how are you? How's it? I think I have a bit of that personality in me, I would say. So I would have the sweet talks in the beginning, I would say, but then I don't know. Do we have an example?
For example, he got angry. When was the last time you got angry at him because of something that he did, but the way you explain it to him, it was with respect, and he didn't take it as an offense. He actually appreciated it.
I'm thinking.
Sim, can you help young man?
I'm also thinking.
It's hard because it doesn't happen often. That's the thing.
It actually doesn't happen often because most times we are just in sync, to be honest. I wish I could explain this thing, Natalia, because sometimes whenever I'm like, you're thinking the same thing, I'm thinking the same thing, and we're just in sync, just like that. But sometimes our disagreements is just basically maybe just the basic stuff. Like maybe I have a task that I was supposed to do today that I haven't done it, because every day there's tasks for us to do, because like we said, we make plans every day to be together. There's always something to do. Or have you called this person, or did you make this inquiry, or did you sometimes I wouldn't do certain things. And she would tell me, like, this is important for us, so you need to treat it this way. And she tells me in the tone she tells me, I know she doesn't want me to feel bad, or she's not trying to undermine me, but trying to make me see reasons why I should do these things. So it's always never a big deal for us whenever she expresses herself for something that I didn't do, or that I didn't do it well. She will always make sure she tells me and explain to me why this was important for me to do, or why I should have done it the way I did. And in arguments, whatever the argument is, you always know deep down when you're wrong or you're right. And you will know, because when she's having a conversation with me, I don't say because I have pride or because I'm a man, I want to stand on my ground and not admit that. I always admit immediately, and I'll just tell her, oh, I'm sorry, baby, that I didn't do this. I would write this or make it right, because there's no point pushing an argument when I already know or where my fault is. So when you told me, and I know, okay, this is it, and then we move on. So
I think that's the point.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I add just something?
Yeah.
I think that's the point. We move on. We don't make it a big deal. Like when he had to find out something for documents, or when I wanted him, like, I don't know, to edit a photo for our social media or something, and he didn't do it yet, then I would just mention it, like, can you please do it because we need it? Or I ask him, why didn't you call yet? But it's not a big deal. We're just having a normal conversation, then I bring it up, and then he answers, and then we just move on. Like, because also long distance, there's no time to be like you don't just hang up the phone and then stay mad at each other. We've never done that, and we would never do that, because
Nope.
it's just, you don't do that in long distance. You don't do that in real life, but I know many people do that, and I think it's very, or we think it's very disrespectful. So we always make sure that we just move on from whatever it is.
And also, when she corrects me, I know that she's saying it out of a place of love, no matter how it comes out from her, because I know that she loves me. That's all that I tell myself. In every argument, I know that this woman loves me. She's not telling me this because she's telling me because she wants the best. So whenever she brings up something, I just know that regardless of how it comes out, it comes from a place of love. And so I need to understand what she's trying to say so that I can follow up. It just works like that.
Yeah, thank you for that, guys. I think that, Lisa, you are not aware that you are doing it, but you are using the assertive communication. It's like the way you build your sentences when you are talking about your feelings. So I will tell that for other people to hear, because that's the best way you talk to Nigerian partners that they understand. So, for example, first of all, you have to describe the situation. So, for example, I don't know, you did something, you were talking when I was talking, so I feel frustrated because it was very difficult for me to finish my sentences, and I would like you to do something else, wait for me to finish next time. So it's like you describe the situation, you talk about your emotions, and you give the reason why you don't like it, and then you give the solution. So I said it because I think that, Lisa, you are very wise. You just learn it. Maybe you don't know exactly how to give the formula, but this formula, it can save a lot of marriages, and it can save a lot of fights. So please, guys, write it down. We are heading towards the end of the interview, so I have just few more questions. You briefly talk about cultural differences. I know you are so synced together that it's like, it seems like you were meant to be together. You are for each other. So what are the biggest cultural differences that are challenging in your relationship?
I think what I mentioned earlier, the different systems we come from, but it's not really challenging for our marriage, but it's challenging now for all the visa process, all the paperwork, because it's just very different systems, and you must understand what you need in this country and what you need in the other country.
Yeah. And also, basically, it's very different culture. Nigeria and Germany, it's so different. Family, where it's probably the same in Europe, because I feel like Africans are more family oriented when it comes to relationships and marriage. That's a different
but also
thing.
Spanish or Greek or Italian families are different from German or Polish families. Or even Polish families, I think, are more open.
We are family oriented, but to us, Nigerian families are extreme. So even to us, Italian families are extreme too. Yeah.
True. Yeah. So that's another thing. And the cultural differences are there, but it hasn't really affected us, to be honest. Yeah. We don't see any of those differences as a challenge for us, because like we said, we're just moving through life and making our own rules as a couple. We're just doing the things we want to do our own way. We are trying to block out the cultural differences between us. Rather, we're not like blocking them out. We're trying to find a common ground between the two cultures and make out something that is palatable for us. So that's what we are trying to do. There's difference in family, the way.
What about functionality?
because being punctual is very important in Germany.
He's very punctual, actually.
Oh,
And that's the thing.
wow.
I'm very punctual. So those are the things we're speaking about. I'm always on time, and she's expecting me to have an African time, like every African. But I'm always on time, and it works for us.
And
But she's
that's very
experienced it
important for
because
me. Yeah.
because I know it's important for her, and she just happened to have an African man that it's not the opposite or not what she was expecting. But she's experienced it in when she's here, when we have to go somewhere, we have to wait,
Even
for
on our
people to
wedding
come.
day, I was like, okay, let me
Even
just
even on our
relax.
wedding day, we were there earlier than every other person. I'm like, babe, you see, this is African time. So I
You
mean,
were there before all the guests.
we were there before everybody, even before the people that are gonna take us in for to do the signing and everything.
Yeah.
We were even there. I think we were there before my mom. Yeah, we were there
I think
before even. Yeah, even our people, our family, we were there before them because I knew that they were gonna take their time. But
Mm.
we're just us.
but it's true. We always say we make our own rules, but then sometimes we talk about that, okay, but our families don't know. Like
Yeah,
our families, they come from their cultures. So we always have to, or I think we don't have to, but sometimes we had a conversation that maybe we should explain certain things to them so they
Mm.
know they don't take anything personal, like from the other family, or because
yeah,
even though we make
yeah,
our own rules, we still have our family and we still come from different cultures. So, yeah.
yeah. Like when you meet an average German for the first time, you don't expect them to be all chatty, all outgoing and everything. They like to take their time to understand the situation, the room, or the person before they can be out there. But my family is different because my mom can meet you for the first time, and she met my mom. Sometimes I was even like, I hope this is not too overwhelming for you because my mom is just, oh, my daughter, my child, oh, because you will
But it's the
find,
thing is, it's not overwhelming for me. But I
yeah,
remember when we had it when I was with Sim's mom physically, and we called my mom, and then his mom was like, "Ah, my daughter," and she was all over me. And then I explained to my mom after, she doesn't mean it literally. It's just the way they are. And but my mom was like, "No, I'm very happy, and I'm very happy to
Mhm.
see." But I still felt the need to explain to her because it was still overwhelming for her, all
yeah,
the love, but she was happy to see that I'm loved like that. And yeah, our
Mm.
African
Coming
family.
from different culture, yeah. As a final piece of advice, like what would you advise couples in a distance relationship?
don't fight on WhatsApp.
Number one.
Um,
That-
and yeah, and always communicate clear. Yeah, always communicate your feelings and stay connected throughout your
Mhm.
day.
yeah, there's the one thing I learned now is about long distance when it comes to stuff like this. It's different when you're with someone and you have an argument, and sometimes you don't even talk about it. But because you're physically together, you can just hug someone and then you just let go of that
Mm.
thing. But it's different for long distance. And that's what people need to take note of. Sometimes you're not just going to physically just touch your partner and just stop being mad at that person. It takes
Mhm.
extra work, and that's the communication Lisa just mentioned now. It takes that extra communications to pass your feeling across to the other person in a respectful way. That person understands that this person wants me to know how they feel, and I need to listen regardless. And that's one thing that we do. We don't disregard our feelings. And in long distance, you need to do not disregard someone's feeling. Even if I feel like what I did or said to her is not enough for her to feel bad, it doesn't mean that I should disregard how she feels. The fact that if that thing was done to me, I would laugh about it, doesn't mean I should expect her to laugh about it. So that's the part you have to take the other person's feelings into consideration, regardless of how you feel about that situation. In long distance, communication is number one. That's why we consciously put in efforts in that to make calls. We have routines that we do together every day. We stretch in the morning together on the phone. Yeah, we leave messages during the day, regardless of how busy the other person is, so they know if I was going to go somewhere and she knew about it, and then I'm changing plans to go somewhere else, I need to put down a message and let her know that this is how my plan is going to be for the day. Communication has been our number one glue so far. We just try to speak, we talk. And even our friends and family, they know how much we spend on the phone. Sometimes there's a screenshot, you see a phone call of 16 hours on the phone. We do that. Sometimes we don't even have to be speaking. Sometimes we just put the phone. I'm cleaning, she's on the phone working on a computer, and I can see her there. I could just wave at her and she waves at me, and then we're going about our day. So we make sure that we keep each other in the loop, because out of sight, they say, is out of mind, but you need to put in that effort for communication. So I'll just advise communication, respect, those are very important for
And
relationships.
patience. Be
And
patient with each
patience also.
other,
Those
but
three things.
also about your situation, because visa processes to be together, they take time. So you have to be patient, but you always have to stick to the bright side and to the positive aspects. And we always say our biggest problem is the distance. And we're so lucky to say that, because we found each other in this lifetime. And we don't have any problem in our marriage. We just, only distance is our problem, and distance won't be forever. So just be patient and still focus on the good things and on building a strong foundation. Yeah.
So what would you advise when it comes to the trust? Because trust, it's earned, and then for the couples that they are not long together and they met briefly, like you guys in the very beginning, just 2 meetings and then being online. So how do you trust your partner when you are in the online relationship?
Trust, like you said, is earned, and you have to put in the effort to make someone trust you. And that's what we do on a daily. She, I, I, I expect, she expects me to be there on the phone when she needs to speak with me, because my routine, her routine, we know. I know when she's at work, she knows when I'm working, she knows my free time, and we try not to give ourselves any opportunity to doubt anything. At first, it's it starts from you being genuine. Because what I always tell people, when you say the truth, you don't have to remember what you said. The truth is the truth. You don't have to think about it. So first, you have to be honest with each other at every given point in time. Be honest about any situation, no matter how it looks. Always be honest, and try not to put yourself in a compromising position to make your partner doubt something. We know as individuals what we have to do or not to do in a relationship to keep that person, your partner, or to keep your partner's trust. So communicate every point in time. She
Yeah.
knows what I do. She knows what I don't do. She
And
calls
vice
me on the
versa.
phone. I'm there. I call her on the phone. She's there. If she's not there, I know why she's not there. And I don't have to think something else. There's a reason why she wasn't there. So if you are genuine, first of all, I think it's the beginning of everything. And then you just make sure you don't do anything or put your partner in a position to doubt you for any reason.
But I think it's the same, and even if you're not long distance, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I could never do long distance," and how can you trust? And but it's the same when you live in the same city. You should also keep your partner in the loop of your day, what you're doing. It's just in our world, this is just how a healthy relationship should look like. So yeah, we think
Okay.
communication is key. Yeah.
Very important point. Thank you guys for our interview. But before I let you go, I have a quiz, just 4 questions for each of you about how much you know about each other's culture. Just who are we going to start from? We have 4 questions for Lisa, 4 questions for Sim.
Okay. I can start with Lisa. Ladies first.
A gentleman, we can start with Lisa. Okay, no wahala. Anytime a man say that, there are double points for women. Okay. Right. No wahala. Okay. So we're gonna start about the food. Like I mentioned before, Sim is from the Edo North, and then his tribe is called the Etsako. I would like to ask about the most prestigious soup in the in Sim's culture. It is called Omi Ukpoka. Is it the right way I pronounce it?
It's like peanut soup. Yeah.
Ah, wow! You
It's
answered the
peanut.
question, no? I wanted to ask what is it made from, but it's not. It's peanut, but there is something.
Peanuts.
Yeah. But is there like a?
I'm sorry, I fumbled that one.
There is something else that is actually also made from. I think the main ingredients. So that it's like corn or maize.
Yeah.
Maize. Yeah.
Yeah. So see
You never told me.
that's the first soup that you're gonna give to a woman once you go to Germany. Yeah.
I will cook it. I know how to do that.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. The number 2 question is about the greetings your in-laws. So if you could please say, Elisa, like when you met your mom in-law, how did you greet her in Sim's language?
I didn't greet her in Sim's language.
Okay. Sim, do you want to teach Lisa how to greet your mom in your language?
Yes. You can say Naija. Naija ma is good morning, ma.
Good morning. Yeah, I've learned that, but I didn't say that to her.
She knows how to say good morning. Yeah.
Okay, and how to say how are you in your language? Do you know, Lisa?
I'm bad. I haven't learned Itzako yet.
You've been together for 1 year, so you still plenty of time. Don't worry. But Sim, can you please say how to say how are you in your language?
How are you is Bo.
Ogbo. Okay.
Ogbo.
I'm learning too, eh?
Then,
okay.
Yeah. Then you can say I'm fine is Opuno.
Opuno.
Yes.
Okay.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, the third question I have is that the Edo North is very famous for its landscape. So Lagos is flat, but there is a like rocky formation in Edo North State. So do you know the hill name in Sims in the Edo North? Like the most famous one.
I don't even know the name of the famous hill.
What about I found it with the ChatGPT. Is it Kukuruku Hill?
Kukuruku Hill, yeah. Close to Ososo. Yeah, that's
I actually didn't know because Ruger in his I think the record labels Ruger, they always say Kukuruku and I did not know what it means.
Kukuruku is also like the sound that they say the hen or the chicken makes when you're in the morning, like it's kukuruku. So that's That's what they, yeah.
Oh,
Also,
and that's the name of the hill as well. Okay, that's
yeah,
interesting.
that's the name of the hill as well, because that's the sound that the chicken makes when in the morning. That's the
That's a
sound you
good
hear.
way to remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, kukuruku. Yeah.
Okay. And the last question, I think that's if you want to get married traditionally in Sims culture, you don't just pay the money, you must provide a list of items. And the one of the item is a bag of salt. Why would you get it as a gift? The bag of salt.
You said what, baby?
To keep your marriage spicy.
It's a
Salty.
good point.
I don't know what it's for.
As a seasoning for the marriage.
Yeah.
So it's not too sweet, no? Yeah.
Germany, yeah, when someone moves into a new house or apartment, you will gift salt and pepper
Oh.
and a basket, like a bread basket. So to start their lives in their new home. So maybe it's something like you,
Maybe.
yeah.
I love that. See, we are all learning here, like I said. I found that the salt is there to preserve the marriage. So to preserve the sweetness.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think that might be
Interesting.
one of the reasons as well for we give the pepper and salt as well at the weddings, for example, in Poland. So I think that might be one of the reasons too. Okay. Now there's a payback time to Sim. So we will start with the first question about the German culture. I wanted to ask about the food, and then there is this one word, it says Wurst, and
Yeah.
it's one of the most famous, like the symbols of Germany when it comes to food. So what is it, the Wurst?
It's a sausage.
Yes.
Wurst is a
That's a
sausage.
very,
Yeah.
if you don't know this, you cannot marry Lisa.
Yeah, you're not ready.
You are not ready. Yeah.
Oh,
Very good. So that was question number one. And then the practical question number two, where after you arrive in Germany and you decide to drill a hole in the wall or vacuum your apartment on Sunday, and why would the neighbors complain about it?
because you cannot vacuum on Sunday and you cannot vacuum after 10 p.m. Yeah, every day. So yeah, it's a it yeah.
We just had that conversation 2 days ago.
We literally
Really?
had that conversation 2 days ago. You cannot vacuum after 10. You cannot vacuum on Sunday. You cannot even shop on Sundays in Germany.
Exactly.
So it's a time where you have to spend at home. You're relaxing. You're not working. So they expect it to be quiet around the residents at that time of the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. The third question I had about the punctuality. When you go to the German party, let's say you are invited to at 7, the party starts at 7 p.m. So what time are you supposed to be at the party?
We start at 7 p.m. You're supposed to be there at 7 p.m.
Okay,
Oh,
Lisa?
yeah.
I would say maybe 6:50.
Exactly.
Just a bit
Oh, wow.
before it's- So you make sure you are on time when you're earlier.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Noted.
Yes. Yeah, because that's the last question is that there is this saying, the proverb in Germany, that punctuality is the politeness of the kings. So how do you understand it?
Yeah, what I understand from that is it's respectful to be punctual. Yeah, it's a way that you can show respect for your host and for the event. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lisa, is there something else that you would like to add?
Nope.
Yeah, very good. I think this party situation, I think it explained everything. So it's just like a part of culture, and then you have to come before time. In Finland, where I live, is the same. That if you're on time, you have to be like 10 or 5 minutes before the time. So in Naija, 2-3 hours ahead, it's still okay. Yeah, I wish you best of luck, and see, especially for Simo, because you are going to move to a totally new country where there is winter. Actually, in South Africa, you guys have winter as well.
Yeah.
So,
but not as cold as Germany does. But it's a way I prepared myself already.
you want to follow Lisa and Sim and their love story, we're gonna put their Instagram handle. I will put all the Facebook or YouTube and Instagram handles, and imagine if this 1 year was so amazing, how your life is going to be. I think that would be my last sentence.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate our time here.